Hello, today we're going to discuss how to make big profits using MSP ALGO Money Flow Sequential View. We're going to discuss why it is beneficial for day and swing trading online. Okay, so now I'm at the MSP application here, and we have what we call the Money Flow Sequential Historical View. Initially, we just had the Money Flow view, and I'll show you a quick look at that. Alright, so this is the money flow view, and it pretty much totals everything and put it in one lump sum per stock. So now we have a new view which is showing you each stock row by time frame. Okay, so it's called Money Flow In Out Sequential View, and you could search by all the stocks or one stock. If you're doing back testing, it's always best to use historical view. Okay? Why? Because you could start seeing patterns. You cannot see patterns when you're looking at a day in all the stocks. Okay? And I'll show you a little bit about that. But anyway, so we got the time frames. It's easier to trade a longer time frame versus a smaller time frame. The time frames we have is 10 minutes, 20, 30, hourly, 90, 2, 3, 4, 8 hours, and daily. You can enter your start time, your end date, and end time. This application is pinging the market in real time, and it analyzes information every 10 minutes, okay, after market open. So the market open up at 0400, not to the public, but it is open, and it closed at 2000 Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so that's what we track, 0400 to 2000. All right, now you could also hide certain columns in order to condense the form a little more. And you search once you have your search criteria. You never want to search the whole day for all the symbols, because it only returns 500 rows, and most likely you're not going to get all of your symbols. So if you are looking for more than one day or something like that, you want to search by symbol. All right. And we could see that I did a search already, And I believe it's an hourly search. I could tell because I could look at 9 and 10, 10 and 11. Okay. So we're going to go over the columns and see what type columns we have, and then we're going to condense this form so it's easy to deal with, okay? But I just have the long version out to discuss the columns. So we have today's trend and a symbol. So if the trend is red, it's bearish, and if the trend is green, it's bullish. In this particular day, this is QQQ, it is bearish. The price, the day change from the last open, the buy volume, sell volume, money inflow, money outflow, flux is the money coming in or out. Bearish means more is going out than coming in. Short long signal algo. This is a MSP indicator that's on our charts as well. So we have the short long signal algo, advanced warning algo, the ratio, the price action divergence. Short long signal algo says bearish or shorts coming, bullish long. The name is self-explanatory. Advanced warning algo says, hey, I'm detecting that this price action may change from bullish to bearish or bearish to bullish, okay? That's the purpose of that. In this particular scenario, it is bearish, okay? And then it'll say it's bearish, and then you later on see the market go bearish. Okay, so and what the ratio is, how much money is going in versus out. So actually this is really flat right here. It says for every dollar going in, $1 is going out at that particular time. We have the price that is now we're tracking the movers and shakers, okay? So we're tracking the big boys. So we're not following the entire market, just the main players. So our price points may not be similar to what the market's price points are. Our close price may be different because that's the last transaction. The people that we follow, that's the last time they made a purchase or a sale, okay? So those are things to think about. So if you want to actually see what the market open, high, low closes, it may be different from our open, high, low close, because you have to understand that we're watching from 0400 to 2000, okay? So then you got your market hours from 9:30 a.m. to 1600 Eastern Standard Time. All right, price action divergence. Negatives normally means it's bearish, and a positive number normally means it's bullish. And this is the sell price in this particular time frame. From 9 to 10, there was more selling than buying, so the sell price will be populated. If there's more buying than selling, the buying will be populated. In this case, more selling. We got the option trigger retest price here, and this price is saying if the current price is below this price, that stock is most likely bearish. If the stock price is above that price, then most likely that stock is bullish. It's another gauge to determine the health of the stock. Higher day or lower day indicator. This normally comes out after the market open, and it's trying to gauge. At the open is price near higher day or lower day, okay? So the indicator is saying 184.26, and we see that price is 182.81. So we thinking that's probably some sort of resistance at this point, and that may be close to higher day. Now we have other alerts that come out: flush alert, rocket alert, and swing alert. And we didn't have any for this particular day. Otherwise, you see an icon in there. Flush alert means that price is going to flush. That means it's going to drop. Rocket alert means price is going to do a touch and go, meaning it's going to go to support, retest support, and if it passes, then it's going to run to the moon. Okay, just like how a plane does. Then we have a swing alert signal as well. Okay. Now, this is kind of obsolete at this point, really. It's just something we had in the past. Then we got open, high, low, close, based on the people that we follow. Okay? So now we have a new column. It's called Stock Health Trading Signals. And this is just a gauge to assist. It is not anything etched in stone. A human could analyze this and probably come up with a better way. I had to code this, so I looked. There's like many variables of what could be a short and long, so you could use your own discretion. Okay. So, but it is a gauge, especially to help beginner traders. Okay. It's just trying to say, based on the information that we have, MSP Algo would be short this stock. Now we also have the external trend. So the external trend is normally what the market's reflecting. If somebody look at the market, they'll say, oh, it's bearish because it's pulling back. Okay. Money magnet retest prices is an algorithm to analyze price action to determine future price action. And then we got MSP pin algo, range to avoid at close. At the end of the day, we believe price will not close in between 189 and 192. Obviously, it's far away from that right now. It doesn't look like it's even going to go up there. So that's how you know where resistance and support is. Because if price is below it, it says price below MSP algo pin range low. So that tells us it's bearish, right? So we know that level's resistance. The start date time, end date time. And then we have .algo max 3 code, which is an indicator that is on our charts. And I'm going to show you these indicators on the charts. I did some videos of these indicators in the past. So you could look at the past video, but I'll show it again. So .algo max normally is detecting manipulation of some sort. And based on what we've gotten, it seems like that's more like the market maker. Okay. So the market maker job is to maintain a market, and they have to put their capital at risk. So they must protect their capital. Okay. So that they'll be profitable, because we know the market could move in this volatile, and also the market maker do other things too, which is steal stops and things like that, which is allowable because they need to make sure they have enough shares and things like that if they think the price of the stock's going up. So they'll hit people's stops, and that person will be at work thinking that let's say QQQ was going to 182, let's say 180, and they put in a short, and then the market maker went and hit his stop. and stopped him out of his position. And then later on, you see that the stock hit your target, and you like, oh, happy, and then you see that you were stopped out of your trade. I don't know how many times that happened to me in the past when I had a job. Only to find out that my stuff was stolen and my target was hit later. Thanks to the market maker. Okay, so that's very good news for us, because we know that .algo Max 3 is the market maker, so now we can watch him. Okay, now we also have what we call our internal flow trend. So we have the external, now we have the internal. What happens internally will reflect externally. So really, when you're trading, you want to trade internally signals, not external signals. Okay? And I'll show you an example of that later. All right, like for example, the stock is bearish and they're buying internally. Okay? Okay, so this is alerts and MSP algo analysis, and it just gives feedback on what it think went on in that 1 hour time frame. Okay, so it didn't actually give an alert. That the notification type alert, but it did tell you what it think. And we can see MSP algo is a short, but it thinks that you need to short above 187 and your first target 182. Okay. So it didn't give any details. If it thought it was a good, if it was a options alert, it would be populated. It doesn't mean you can't take these trades, right? We understand that. Okay, so now we have what we call our MSP Algo Stock Market Implied Volatility Gauge, which I did do a video on that. Okay, and what the signals were, and it'll give a brief message. And this is saying that the premiums are high for calls, so you'll be overcharged if you had calls, and that most likely the stock is going to be chopping like a rock. Okay, so this is good to use in conjunction with your signals. Okay, now the market has a tendency to chop. It's on a chop high. Every time I look, it's chopping. So I created the algo chatterbots, and what it does is it communicates to the billion-dollar algos, chopping the market to pieces to see how to get a piece of the pie. Okay, so it'll give a message and let you know what it think. Okay, so the message may be it's a chop type distribution detected. It's called the pump to dump, so that means it's going to pump slightly above a price, and then the max dump range is a certain price. Okay, initially it's easy to see that in the smaller time frame, which I'm going to go to a smaller time frame. So that was the chop type. Now this is the drop. This is this says drop below 180, 190. So what is it talking about? It's talking about the next time frame. This is trying to say what the next time frame is supposed to be doing. Okay, this is trying to tell you what the next time frame is supposed to be doing, right? All of these trying to tell you what the future holds. So it says drop below 180, 190, load the boat, then reverse and break out above 180, 190. Now we see that the market is bearish, so we probably don't want to be loading a boat in the bearish market, because it's specifically everywhere we look, it's telling us this market is bearish. Okay, so if the market was bullish, not necessarily bullish, because we don't want to focus on bullish and bearish as we look at the market like most people do. We need to focus on what's going on internally. Okay, that's what is going to affect external in the future. Okay, so and it says that these alerts are only applicable on the initial alert. Okay, so consecutive alerts with the same price or repeats of the past alert. So if we see 181.90, 181.90, 181.90, we know that this is just a repeat of this alert. Let's say if that was what was going on. All right. So those are the columns we have. And let's go on and condense this so we could put everything on the same screen. Fit all the columns. While we're doing that, when we looked at money flow, see, we have all the columns. All right. Some of these columns didn't disappear like I wanted it to, but that's just fine. I could always make this just a little smaller. All right. All right. So now we got everything on the screen. So now we could kind of get the big picture of what this looks like. So we could see that MSP Algo, sometimes the market's choppy and it's just not trending. And 1 minute it's popping to the top, 1 minute it's dropping like a rock. So your signals aren't going to be as solid. In this particular scenario, it seems like it was a nice trending day. Okay, and price was actually moving. Okay, so so we could see that it was a nice trending day. And then we starting to see bull flow, and so this column is this is just the market. Okay, this is just the market, and when you see that market maker in there, that means that's the market maker. So that's something, let's make clear. So we got the .algo max code, and we know that with .algo max we got code red, yellow, and green. So let's look at that real quick so we can see our dots. We got the yellow, we got the red, we got the green, right? And then we got the short long signal algo. And then we got the price action divergence. Okay, so that is an algo or algorithm. Okay, so in this particular column, so let's go to this one. We got our little bear icon, so that means that it is bearish. If we click, we could read what it's supposed to mean, right? Stock health detects if buying or selling is commencing for a short or long trading opportunity. So when it was talking about load the boat, and we see it's not load the boat day, okay? Now when that's load the boat day, you're going to see how positive that is. But this is more like short the rips day, right? And this is just algo chatterbots. So that's how the algos, you got humans, they're social. You have algos, and they're social. And algos aren't prejudiced or racist against each other. They don't have any prejudice and hate and animosity against each other. They love each other. Okay? So it doesn't matter if it's MSP Algo talking to the $1 billion algos. They love each other and they don't think anything is wrong with it. Probably the institution would think something wrong with it, but like I said, the algos are friendly, little chatterbots. All right. So we got the bear here, and we can see we get a bull when it's bullish. And it tells what the external trend is. Now in here we saw the market maker. So we know the market maker is buying or selling because we see the market maker. They go to market maker and it says market maker, okay? And it says bear flow internal trend. So this background color is the trend. You see how it changed to green? You see how it changed to red, okay? So when a market maker comes into play, most likely price is going to move. When there's no, sometimes you don't see the market maker and it's just dead. It seems like price isn't doing anything, okay? But when you see the market maker, that is what my problem was. Let's do this. Well, I just, this thing changed on me. So let's do a search. Now we're back at QQQ. Yay! How that happened, I have no clue. All right. So it's pretty clean, crisp looking app here. And it's pretty simple to read once you understand what's going on. Okay? All right. And we're aware that we hid some of the columns that we don't really need to use to trade. All right. So we're aware of our money flow, the flux, and then we got our algorithms reading the money flow. So everything is reading the money flow in another way. The .algo max 3 code and the internal flow. So we got the bear flow or the bull flow, and we notice we don't have a dot and we don't have a market maker in here because they didn't do anything. Okay? This is just the rest of the market that we follow, or the rest of our players. So we got, who are our players? We have the institutions, and then we got the market maker, right? Those are the players. We don't follow anybody else. So there go your institutions. They're always in here somewhere. But we specifically want to know what the market maker is doing, because the market maker need to protect his inventory at all times and make sure that there is a good market. Okay, everybody can buy your shit. They do a good job. Let's be honest about it. They do a good job. They do their job too good that they learned how to do things that aren't on the up and up. But I'm not going to disrespect anything on this video. I'm going to just say They do a good job, okay? All right. So the first thing we see is that the market maker, so, okay, and it's giving us some information about this alert. It says dump the pump, short the rip above 187.35, or buy the dip below 182.10. That's if you, and that's what it was thinking. Now, what you got to realize is the market is constantly moving. So sometimes it's going to give you a price and it already moved. So you're just going to have to gauge whether you're going to get in that trade on your own, okay, based on your own signals. There's no set price, okay. And I hear some people say they want to swing trade, and in order to swing trade, the market has to be trending. Otherwise, you need to be in and out like everybody else. The market's volatile. It's not going anywhere quickly. So if swing trade means you in it for a day or two, that's what you got to do. Okay? All right. So when a market maker come, we want to see that market maker, because we know they win at least 98% of the time. Okay? I'm not going to say they always win, but it seems that way. So what they do is what that stock's going to do. Okay? Because they got to adjust their inventory, just like a store has to adjust their inventory. Okay? So if they know the market is going to drop, they need to start selling the shares that they have available for people to buy, right? And what do you think the market maker's doing? He know what? The market's about to drop, and what's he doing? He's selling his shares. What do you want to do? You want to follow that market maker. Look at your other signals and say, okay, I'm looking for an opportunity to follow Mr. Market Maker, okay? So, and then you got more analysis. It says short above 183.21. So what does that mean? It means that when price get close to this price, it may go a little above it, it may go a little below it, but then that's the best entry to short, okay? And your first target will be near what? About 182. This is 181.90, okay? Another thing you could do is see where's the sell price. Where are they selling? 183. So on the next time frame, when price get near 183, you want to what? Short. So you may want to buy what? About a 182 put, a 181 put. But we know this is not the day to be loading no boat, because when this alert come out, high premiums, avoid new swing trades with call options. Normally that means the market is extremely bearish. And you don't want to buy anything to say this is going to go higher at that time. Okay? So we went with the market maker. We got this trade at 183. And we taking our target 182 is first target. It ends up going to about 180. Let's see where this went to 179. So here MSP Algo had a nice solid trending day. And this is in August, so it wasn't as volatile as it is now, where everything's going haywire. Okay. All right, so that seems like that was an easy trade. Let's look at another time frame. We're gonna look at the daily, and if we're swing, that was for day trading. If we're swing trading, it's always good to look historically to do back testing. It's critical you back test. There's no easy road to making money. I'm sorry, I just haven't found any easy way to make money. Yeah, you may make money, but you got to work. You're going to have to put a little bit of work in. That means that you got to back test. if you're going to be successful, because you need to know how the application work, right? So this is the daily view for QQQ, and the date I have is the 7th of July to 8th of August. I mean 5th of August. So we could see that MSP ALGO was short, and then she went long and got out, and it was a short, and then it was long again. That's what I'm saying. If you think you're gonna and I'm not picking on anyone, but if you think you're gonna swing trade and just sit here and wait for a week or two, that's not what the market's doing. You need to trade what the market's doing. If the market got you in and out, you're gonna have to be in and out. That's why it's critical to have real-time data and not dark pool prints, which are late prints, which are insignificant. Because let's say the print you got from that day they were selling, well, now they buying your print from 2 days ago. They ain't no real-time dark pool prints. Don't be foolish listening to people. There's no such thing. Dark pool prints are always late. No such thing as real-time dark pool prints. These people do not buy 500 shares. That's fiction. Okay? That's old reporting. All right. We got that straight. Okay, so another thing, so now since this market is so volatile, another thing you could do is you could look at this algo chatterbox and see what the $1 billion algo's doing and thinking, okay? And how they know how to make trades, because that's what this is doing. It's using the same algorithm that they use to make trades, and they're chatting with each other and they know what to do. That's why the market look like a bot most of the time. Chopping up and down a penny sometimes. Look, because it's got a bot lock. Okay, so now the stock market externally looks kind of bullish, and we could see that money is constantly going into the stock, even though it looks bearish on the outside, but on the inside we see they're buying. So this stock was at 188, then it went to 190, 191, 190, 189, 190, 192, and all the time they were buying. See what I'm saying? What happens internally eventually happens externally. So the key is, what is the market maker doing? Now, if you swing trade, you may not want to look at a daily time frame. You may want to look at a daily time frame for the high level, but when it's time to actually take the trade, you want to look at like an hour time frame or a 4-hour time frame or something like that to enter or exit that trade. Okay. All right, so let's look at one of these. It says a chop type distribution detector. So what that tells us is probably that is red because it's being chopped. Okay, we know what chop is. Range. All right, so pump to dump. So obviously this was some sort of plan to you know how the funds do. They chop the market to get the 401k money in and all that. It's totally legit, okay? Sometimes they chop up and down the penny. It's totally legit. Nothing to complain about. That's why we got our algo chatterbot, because it's going to tell us what that stock is doing. we'll know not to trade it that day, or if we could trade it. Okay. All right, so it says pump slightly above 188. What day is this? On the first. It's trying to tell you what the next move is for the next day. Okay, so pump to dump. Pump slightly above 188.90, then max dump range slightly above or below 188.90. So we're looking to have price go above 188.90, and then the lowest it's going to go is near that price. So then you look at the next day, and we could see it went slightly above, and it went, the low was real close to that price. Okay, that was the algo chatterbots chatting about how they gonna, the best entry and exits, and it kept it in a little lock right there. Okay, now the next day, and we had long rocket out the gate for the alert here, and we didn't have an options alert, but here it says buying near 188.55, and it says buy a 189 call, and along the breakdown of 189. That's what it's saying, right? So it's telling you the best entries. Okay, those prices are there for a reason, because they have a strategy on how the bots work. And if you can't understand that strategy, you're going to be buying tops and shorting bottoms a lot. So follow what it's trying to tell you. Don't get euphoric because you see a green candle. Okay, so this is saying that the next day drop below 190.20, load the boat, and we could see the market's bullish, so we think we could load the boat. So they're saying the stock gonna drop below 190.2, load the boat, then reverse. That means the stock's then gonna reverse and break out above 190.2. So it's telling us the algo chatterbox saying the best buy opportunity is below, if price drop below 190.20, load the boat in call 189 calls, right? Or 190 or whatever. You know, it don't have to be that price. It's just, normally I like to be in the money when my target hits, so I'll buy a little bit out of the money. It's up to you what you want to do. And then so let's see what happens. So the next day, price dropped a little bit below 190.20, so that's 190.01. And then it's supposed to break out. Now this is the daily time frame, so it may take another day. I've noticed that when it say it, that day is say drop, that whole day may be the drop, and then the next day may be the pop, or it may all happen in one day. Okay, so normally the price of the option is your target. If it says buy a 190 call near 188, that means that's your target. Okay, so the strike price is the target. It doesn't mean you have to get out. You can still monitor the market. When it's trending, you can ride your trade. If it's not trending, you need to get out of your trade. Okay, all right. So here it's saying buy a 190 call on the breakdown of 190. All right, so here we see the market maker sold. So it doesn't necessarily mean price gonna drop, but it means that probably you may not want to be long, because we know that the market maker win 98. 50% of the time. It could just be a flush. You see what I'm saying? Or you may have a strategy of just watch the flow. If you don't really care about the market maker selling. But me, myself, and I would have got out and waited for an alert to tell me how to get back in, okay? So, or you could have just got out and short with the market maker, 189.40. It went to 188.93. Not that great a short, but this is still bullish, so I don't know if you really want to short. You see what I'm saying? But we could see money's going in, but the market maker did something to make this market drop. See how it dropped? So the market maker's doing what? A flush to hit stops and run off with the traders' stocks. He's trying to get stocks for the next leg up, probably. All right. So we could see that that was a flush, and that's exactly what he was doing. So this was really reliable, and it was nice and trending. So you could use whatever you want to use, okay? I didn't have time to code every scenario. In time I'll do it, but if I code every scenario, I'll never have a video, and I know y'all want a video, okay? Learn how to use this new application. So it's very powerful. Not only do we know if we're going to be chopped to death, we know in that chop how to scalp, okay? Which we identified by looking at Algo Chatterbot. And also we identified how to use MSP ALGO Volatility Gauge to time trades. So, we're going to look at that time frame, and when we looked at the sequential view, it does show us our implied volatility, but it's intraday, because we do get it intraday as well. But the major one you need to pay attention to is the daily. It's the daily, okay? So let's look at the daily. And we could see that on that particular day, and it gives you more information about these alerts if you want to say, eventually you'll remember right off the top of your head, but it says bear territory, avoid swing calls, right? So, and it tells you the anticipated price action is drop. So when you're trading, whether you're a day trader or a swing trader, you want to look at this gauge at all times before you take a trade. And like I said, it is on here, but you just all right, but if in order to get the juicy details about that alert, okay? Now the daily here time frame is just going to have the daily of the daily time frame. When you look at the intraday, it's going to have the intraday time frame, not the daily time frame, okay? All right. So if we look at this, I haven't really had a lot of time to back test this. I added this thanks to the Netflix market maker for letting me know that these are the market makers, because I caught them doing a dump to pump, and I knew it was a market maker, and I had an alert right there, and it was .algo max. I said, got them, that's them. So now we have more power, because we know who we're dealing with, because we want to follow the market maker. We always want to know what the market maker doing. And this is really good to let you know how to play the next move. Sometimes it'll tell you that it's gonna do something, and it may be, let's say this is at 195 and it say it's going to drop to 193, so it could kind of help you get a short. In this case, it was saying it was going to drop below 193. In this case, it dropped to what, 190.94, right? Okay, so that's daily. So when you backtest, you want to look at historical. So the goal here is to let you know that this is another way to trade. You can forget about everything else as far as, you know, there's a lot of other things. We got momentum and all that. I'm just saying these are just a nice combination. You don't forget about everything else, because there's other things that's important. But if you just use these two things, you could trade, right? And very successfully. Because what we did learn is that MSP ALGO stock market implied volatility gauge is calling tops and bottoms, right? It's calling these tops, and it's calling the bottoms, if you look at that video. So when you decide to take a trade, you always want to look at your volatility gauge. And what I do notice is when it say not applicable, most likely price gonna bounce in these time frames. Okay. Price, and then, you know, you got your slingshot alerts as well, which are very good. And the last alert was a slingshot alert. With SPY. So what's a slingshot? A slingshot is like that, a toy, or it's a weapon. It's a little stick, you know, a slingshot. Let's find one. All right. Oh boy, I gotta get all that. Jeez. I can't even look for a toy these days. There you go. There goes a slingshot. Okay. That's what it is. Why do I call it a slingshot? Because they have to pull. They got to put a little projectile in there. They got to pull it back. They got to let that projectile go. And then it flings. And that's the type price action. And then, yeah, no comment. All right. So, let's find a slingshot here. So we had one on the 12th. So I could show you how it worked. 12. So we know it came out on the 12th, so we say it's gonna pop. So that's the market maker pulling the slingshot, shooting a projectile, ricocheting. It's like it creates like this sort of pattern, really. But normally it's pop, drop, pop. Then it's done. Okay. So so that we got to conclude that little pop. So the alert came out here. Let me make sure. Let's look. What day did the? Yep. Okay. So the alert came out on the 12th and said, slingshot. So what do we know? We know. Oh, how do we know it's gonna pop? Because it says it. Pop. Let me blow this up because it was hard to see in the last video. Pop to drop, then pop. So the alert came out. Pop to drop, then pop. See how I got my little, and then if a slingshot alert come out within 2 to 3 days, you're near bottom, right? That's what it say. So we got another slingshot on the 14th. So we know we're near bottom. Pop to drop to pop. Now, normally you start seeing big candle coming or something like that, I think. Well, not always. Oh yeah, here we go. Huge candle coming, spike. But it didn't come, sometimes it come right after, but I'm not going to say that's reliable because I'm still trying to do back testing myself, okay? Okay, so we're back at our so we learned how to do back testing, and we did look at the daily, and we could gauge what's going to happen the next day. We could gauge what's happening by watching an internal flow. And watching that internal flow never told us to get out of trade. It's hard to gauge when you're watching everything, but looking at this, besides that market maker, it's got a little scary there with that flush. I don't see anything that say get out that trade. Now I start to see bearish flow, and I say you probably want to exit that trade. So you would have been able to write a trade from, please back test this, I just haven't had a chance. From, we see it was at 188 right here. and we did see that market maker. You may, there, but as far as the bull flow, it was just steadily bullish. So, as I monitor the app, I could always adjust my signals here, okay? So it's not etched in stone. This is brand new, but at least we have something, okay? It seems pretty strong. And so you would have got a trade from 188 to about 194 before you had to get out of that trade, and you would have got this. Let's say you just followed a daily because you like to swing trade, and you would have said, oh crap, I gotta get out of my trade, and you would have got out at the top, right? Still at 194. Let's see what happened. Then it started taking little profits. You're a market maker. What you gonna do, Mr. Market Maker? You look like you up to havoc. Because we know what the market maker like to do. Market maker, when things dry up, market maker like to pump it up. And I think that's what he was doing right there. Because we started seeing people take profits and price keep going higher. That's why the bears always get fried. I'm sorry. Nothing negative, It's good. It's good because someone said, why are you laughing so hard? Because it was something that most people would think is negative. But it wasn't because I didn't think it was horrible. It was because it's just so horrible. I'm not going to go into the state of misery. I'm going to laugh at it and say, okay, now I know. I learned something new. Okay? And then it dropped like a rock because he did look suspicious, didn't he? It's beautiful to see the market maker trading. The best thing since sliced bread, and oh my God. And then we got this too. Jesus, this is wow. All right. So now we know that we could use this as a trading tool as well. So, but see, that's when a market is trending, and we could see it's like sporadic at times, All right, and MSP ALGO trying to trade the market. Look like she's doing good on that one. Got a nice little short. So this is what MSP ALGO would have done based on the signals. Like I said, I could always adjust that because I'm looking at a wide variety of signals. I haven't had opportunity to incorporate this as a signal, which it is. Okay, so my thing is, if I see this, I don't think I should be putting a go long. You get what I'm saying? All right. All right, let's look at one more, and then we're going to call it a day. Let's look at another stock. Let's look at who have the worst market makers. Netflix. Let's look at Netflix. Let's look at the one where I caught the Netflix market maker help us out on the 5th. I don't want to go all the way in the wee hours of the morning, so we're going to do 9 o'clock, and I don't want to go all the way in, we're going to do 1600. We just want normal market hours. Just give me a little bit before the market opens so I can see what's going on. So here go Netflix. And as we can see, the market is dropping like a rock. Well, Netflix is. And so when the market opened, the traders see it looked like a short, right? You see, it's the trend is red. It's red. But who do we see here? Good morning, Mr. Market Maker. Hi. Bought lows detected 282.57. Okay. We see that the market is bearish, but we see our internal signals are saying bullish, bullish, bullish across the board. So we're going to say we'll take the trade, because these trades, these dump to pump trades are huge money fast. Okay? And they seem like they like to pump faster than dump. So if you took the trade too early or whatever, you can get out quick, because you have another opportunity. It's the, because they like to churn. It seems like they like to churn the market when price is pulling back. But when it's going up, it go up at 100 miles an hour. So these are excellent opportunities if these things are reversed. But we know that's the market maker, and the market maker bought, and the market maker win 98% of the time. So you make your own decision on what you're going to do, because it is still what they call bearish, right? I decided I was going to take that trade. Now, I wasn't able to get it near that 282 because it moved too quick. But I think I got it like 283, 284-ish. And I thought I had like to, if it told me to buy the 286 call, that was my target. So I had some room, and the options was a little cheap because it was closer to the end of the week. All right. And this thing, and then I looked at the chart as well. And I believe it went to like 280 something. 290. Yeah, I think when I post on Twitter, I was thinking, yeah, I post, it was near 288, so it was going to go to like 290. Okay. So this is a little choppy now. Later on in the day. So they really chopping this market to death. But it's still easier to trade because now we got our chop bot being monitored, this chop. So it'll dissect this chop quickly, just like the $1 billion algos. So let's see what the algo would have said. As the market's opening up, it would say drop below 283.50, load the boat, then reverse and break out above 283.50. Okay, it says it's applicable in an initial alert. I see that this alert is not the same price, so when the market open up, I'm expecting price to dive below 283.50. And if I see the market maker buying, then I'm going to buy with the market maker. So I'm already prepared. So the 930 come out, and I see the market maker bought. So now I'm looking to try to buy close to where the market maker bought. Okay? I may not be able to get as low as he did, but I should be able to get it close. And I'm thinking about 286 at least, if not retest the 290 is what I was thinking. And so I had help. The market maker gave me confidence. I got a bull flow internal trend. We didn't have all this at the time. This is totally different. It's more clear. And then that gave me, it told me what was going to happen. Wow. right? And so I got into the trade here, and or here, and then it started moving, right? And everything's still bearish, but and there's some bearish flow here. But then it went higher. So now I do see that this a short or whatever, but the price I got into, let's say 283, I was just fine. I didn't have to get out, right? And then it just started taking off, and then it ran to like 290, 292 or whatever. I never made it that far though. I think I made it to like 288 and ran for the hills or something like that, 289. All right, so that's how you trade. You see how the market maker went? It was a mess. It's choppy. One thing, what do you notice? The market maker didn't sell anything. The market maker bought the lows, and the market maker didn't sell anything. We see bearish flow with the market maker. He didn't sell a thing, right? The market maker's still buying. Spoofing the market with bearish stuff. Market maker's still buying. Why is the market maker still buying? Because the market maker think that price is going to go higher. And like I said, some of these alerts, this alert, some of these alerts I got to adjust because we got the market maker now to assist. So the market maker is who you should be watching. And the market maker never got out. So, I would know I could still hold my position without being, now I know I could still hold my position, and I could have rode that trade until I saw the market maker sell, and the market maker sold about 293, and I had got out at 288. You see how important it is to have this market maker here? All right. I'm kind of long-winded, and I'm going to do more videos more in depth, but that's a high level of how to use MSP ALGO Money Flow Sequential View to make big profits, and how to use the market maker as a trading tool, and how to gauge price action by watching the algo chatterbots. And it could also help you with the entry, but you got to make sure you're still using your signals. Okay? So that is it. How to make big profits using MSP ALGO Money Flow Sequential View for day and swing trading online. Eventually I will be trading on YouTube. So I think this application's at its final stages as far as the alerts are concerned, and I'll have more time to actually be with the traders, do questions and answers, and day trade with the traders. But like I said, I've just really been busy, so that is what I really want to do, is get to meet everybody and make some money, because we're gonna be having a great time. We're gonna be partying every day. People hate us because we be partying too much, but I can't wait for that. So I'm sure that's going to be coming soon. So please like and subscribe, and I'll have a new video coming out pretty soon. Have a great day.